Joining us live now tonight on more on this and what's next for City Council is John Mascarin, municipal lawyer. John, thank you for your time. So if you can please break this down for us as far as what the next steps are. We know that officially, as of right now, as you and I have this conversation, Mayor John Tory is still in fact mayor. And so when does he officially step down and resign?
Right. He resigns, Kayla, under the City of Toronto Act when he actually files a formal notice of resignation with the clerk. That may have happened. We don't know that. When that happens, then council at its next meeting, which happens to be a special budget meeting next Wednesday, February 15th, council then will declare the office of the mayor vacant. It must do so under the City of Toronto Act. When it does that, that's when the vacancy occurs, and that starts the time clock running for council to then pass a bylaw to say, we're going to hold a by-election. That is the only way that you can fill the vacancy in the office of the mayor of the City of Toronto or the City of Ottawa. That was recently changed by the strong mayor powers. The City of Toronto has no option to just appoint someone. Must hold a by-election.
Okay, so that's really interesting to point out, too, because when you're talking about time frame, as far as trying to move through this as quickly as possible, that's not necessarily the case. There is a process to this that is going to take time.
You're absolutely right, Kayla. It's not going to happen overnight just because there's the vacancy. Remember, we do have a deputy mayor in the City of Toronto who can step in to temporarily bide the city's the head duties. But no, everything in a sense goes through the system. And again, I'm just assuming that what is coming out is that there was a formal resignation letter with the clerk. That then means that council must declare the seat vacant, which then starts the clock running for council to make the decision to pass the bylaw to hold the by-election.
As far as everyday Torontonians who are up this evening and watching, the direct impact that this could have on daily lives, is there any, or is this something that we're just going to simply have to see unfold as time goes on?
Well, we're going to have to see it unfold, that's for sure. Now, will it impact garbage collection, snow plowing, the arenas? No, it won't. The city has the administration in place, and that continues to run, notwithstanding that the head of council, the leader of the governance arm, the executive arm of the city, is now no longer in place. The rest of the typical running of the city, the day-to-day affairs of the city, water will keep being pumped into houses, wastewater will still be collected. All of those things will continue to go forward. But what's really interesting in all of this is the next meeting of council, as I just indicated, is a special budget meeting. Guess who runs that? Guess who brings that forward and who is to make sure that the budget is established? It's the mayor now. It's no longer council by changes that were made by the strong mayor powers. So you're going to actually have a ship that's a little bit rudderless on that end.
So in that case, as far as Deputy Mayor McKelvey, what do you think is sort of going through the conversations of City Council, days away from Wednesday now?
Right. Well, what's going to happen is her executive is going to meet, and they are going to make sure that everything is put in place for this extraordinary situation where she's going to have to take the ship's wheel right now and steer it through. So that's what she signed up for, and that's what she was appointed to do as deputy mayor. And it's happened before in other areas when the head of council has passed away while in office. It has happened.
Can you talk to us more about the shock value tonight and really just the magnitude of what we are watching unfold on a Friday evening?
Well, it's extraordinary. And Kayla, you would know better than I would, right? It's dropped on a Friday evening. Why? Less people are paying attention. Well, I think a lot of people will be paying attention about this over the whole weekend. I think it's incredibly shocking. You would not have expected this of John Tory, right? And, you portray yourself as a person with the utmost integrity. That's how he came into office originally. He's a lily white Boy Scout type of person. So this kind of scandal will rock him to the core. And I think that's why he felt he had to resign. I bet a lot of people across the province are thinking, wow, he resigned over that. Look at what's happened to a whole bunch of other politicians, and they didn't resign. I think the difference here is it's the image, the branding of John Tory as, I don't mean to demean it. I don't mean to denigrate it, but he was a Boy Scout. He was the goody two-shoes, and that's how he got in. It was, get rid of the scandal-plagued controversy that had happened at City Hall, 12 years ago in the prior mayoralty regime, and we were going to get stability with John Tory. All of a sudden, couple of months into his third term, there's no stability.
Lots of great insight. I really appreciate you being here with us. John Mascarin, municipal lawyer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kayla.